Okay, everyone, here is the canvas and my progress so far. Sorry, my area's a little bit messy, but I've kind of worked myself into a corner up here, so I did go ahead and switch it around so I could work on it. So I will be working on it upside down, but I did want to show my progress so far with it in the correct position. If you see this little light here, I've started using this. My drills are terrible, so what I do is I set my drill tray on top of it, and it gives me just enough lighting so I can pick out the bad drills. And it kind of holds the tray as well. I still have to kind of hang on to it a little bit so it doesn't fall. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and get my canvas ready to start working on it, and then we'll do a little time lapse of working on this. Okay, I cannot see in my camera, so I hope I'm not in view. I don't think I'm in the way. But here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and these drills are terrible. I'm finding some of them are actually really nice, but majority of the darker colors are just really bad. And one of my symbols, I thought they were perfect, and they're actually just a little bit too big. So there's a little bit of popping drills on this one. I'm telling you, this canvas has been kind of a nightmare, but it is for my fiance, and he sees it every day when he passes by it, because it is in our kitchen where I'm working. And he really likes it, and I've expressed how poor the drills are, and he's told me just throw it away, and I just can't. The amount of money I spent on it, I just really can't, and getting a hold of the seller is not happening. I contacted them about the crease that's in here, and they really didn't do anything about that, so I'm just kind of going along. I will be sealing this once I'm completed so that I don't have popping drills, because he is going to hang it. So I figure if I'm talking, I will go ahead and slow it down so y'all can obviously hear what I'm saying, but if I'm not talking a whole lot, I will go ahead and just do the time lapse through that spot. I did watch a video that showed how to properly place square drills, or how this person got her drills super straight. And that's why I've started using the tweezers and kind of a checkerboard style. This painting has so much confetti, it is hard to do checkerboard the whole section, but I do start off with checkerboard and then fill it in. And I'm finding that it does work better. I've only been using the tweezers for the last 2 times that I've worked on the painting, so I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it is. It's actually pretty simple to use the tweezers. I think when I first tried to use tweezers, they were too sharp and pointy. They were from Evermoment, and Evermoment seemed to be like, these are short. Hopefully I'm in the screen, but these are short, and Evermoments come down like down to here. And these are really sharp, but I don't know, they work. For some reason these work. I don't even know where these tweezers came from. I have a couple pair like this, but I can't recall which company they came from. But when I first tried tweezers, I'd try to pick them up and they just pop out of the tweezers and go flying everywhere, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. But I've gotten the hang of it, and I actually like using them with the squares. I think you'd have to have rounded tips to do round paintings, but I don't mind using my pen for round. I don't feel like round, I feel round is way more forgiving. But square, you kind of have to be a little bit more precise, or you can, at least when you're close up, you can definitely see all the imperfections. But this section and part, maybe right around here, was all done with squares. And I feel like I can tell a difference. I'm definitely not gonna mess with the rest of the painting. It's just gonna have to work. I tried to straighten as I went the best that I could. I've rolled it a few times. The reason I have it upside down is because I started from the bottom right hand corner, and as I started moving up the painting, the drills were hanging down low and they were on my stomach, and I just kept having drills fall off because they would be touching me, and they're just that poorly of drills that they weren't sticking onto the canvas. That's why I went ahead and flipped it. So now I have the unfinished side that rubs up against me, which now I understand why most people start at the top left corner of their diamond paintings. I sure wish I'd have done that to begin with. These symbols, I don't think any of these symbols are really crazy enough that if they're upside down, I won't know what it is. But on some paintings, they're similar, like they have arrows, one going left, one going to the right. Well, if you're turning your canvas up, down, sideways, those arrows are gonna get to where you might confuse the symbol and the letter and accidentally put it on the wrong part. So on this one, I don't really have any issues with similar symbols, so I shouldn't have any confusion. So far I haven't had any confusion. I think once I finish this row, I think I may have to put this one aside and just work on other paintings. I'm just kind of, the colors are not the colors that I would normally have chosen to work on a diamond painting. I don't care for dark colors, and these are mostly black and dark brown and gold, and it's just not colors that I'm fond of working on, so I get a little bored with it. And I'll put it away for a couple weeks, and then I'll pull it back out and work on it for a couple weeks. My fiance keeps asking me, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" And I'd love to get it finished. It just sometimes takes motivation to start working on this one. And I know there's a butterfly event coming up on, I believe it's the 28th of April. So we're, I think today's the 19th, so 9 days away from that event. So I might work on this up until that event. We'll see. Because I have my paper draw that I drew. I've been drawing numbers to choose my next painting, and I do have that one chosen, so I need to get that one kitted up and start working on that one. I do normally find myself having 2 different diamond paintings going, just for the reasoning of I obviously can't work on this one in my lap on my recliner. Most of my other paintings I can do that with. My fiance actually started working on a diamond painting this past weekend. I had gotten him a USA flag, or not, it's not a flag, it's just I keep calling it a flag, but it's just, you know, a picture of the USA. It's all reds and blues and whites. And he started that, worked on it for about 3 hours, and he didn't make too much progress, but he's doing really good. And it's a square diamond painting, and he's doing really good. They're coming out pretty, he's got some pretty straight lines. We were watching TV, so he probably really only did about an hour and a half's worth of work and an hour and a half's worth of watching TV. And he said he felt like he was straightening them up more than actually working on the diamond painting. So he is using my lap easel, and we bought an A3 light pad. So he is using those items, which would normally be what I would use for my sitting in the recliner. I just don't know if he's actually going to work on that any longer. I'm probably going to be the one to finish it. We'll see. We will see if he picks it up again. I had the same thing happen with my son. He loves to fish, so I bought him, there's the Monarch of the Sea by Diamond Dots from Joann's, I think is where I got it. And he worked on it for maybe 45 minutes or so and decided, no, he's not into it. I worked on it for a little bit, and then I got bored with it because it wasn't one I wanted to do. The colors are really pretty. There's a lot of blues, and they're really sparkly. I do think Diamond Dots might be just a little bit more sparkly than any of the other ones that I've worked on. So eventually I will pick that one back up and finish that one. I forget that I have it to do and start working on something else, but one day I will finish that one for him so he can hang it on his wall. But those are my unfinished kits at the moment. I have the one that I'm working on, I have the one that my fiance is working on, and one that my son gave up on. So that's not too many kits going at one time. But I will be also kitting up my new project, which is my heart-shaped cloud with it looks like a balloon-shaped heart cloud in the sky, and then there's a boat in the water. That's my next project that I will be working on and kitting up and getting going. See how long it takes me to do that. I'm actually going to be watching my granddaughter this evening, so I wanted to get in a little bit of diamond painting before she gets over here, because when she gets over here, she's only 7 months old. She's at that point where she's not quite crawling, not quite walking, not quite, but she's scooching around everywhere, and I have tile flooring throughout my whole house. And I only have one little area where we have a rug, and she just makes me really nervous. I keep dropping drills everywhere. Thank goodness they send enough, or hopefully they send enough for this one. But anyhow, she is all over that rug, and then she'll get to the edge and she makes me nervous, and I think she's gonna fall backwards and hit her head. So diamond painting while she's here is kind of off the table. I do have a little walker for her, so sometimes I'll sit her in her walker for a little bit and let her make her way around the whole house, because she's definitely walking around a lot in that. And and maybe I sit down and do some diamond painting while she's occupied in there. She's kind of at this point where she doesn't really know what she wants. If she wants to be held, if she wants to sit down, lay down, sit in her walker, be played with. She just kind of doesn't know what she wants right now. At least over here at my house. I have a hard time figuring out what are you wanting? Do you want me to hold you? Do you want me to snuggle with you? But eventually she settles into something and I can go off and do something else for a little bit. But I didn't diamond paint yesterday. I didn't diamond paint the day before. I haven't diamond painted in 2 days. So I wanted to get some in before she gets over here. Hopefully I can finish this little section I'm working on. Because I don't have anything to really, I could cover it up, but I haven't been covering it up and I don't want the glue to dry. With so much confetti, I miss symbols like crazy. I feel like, okay, I looked really good. There's no more of that symbol. I can move on. No. There's literally the only color blocking that I can remember so far was the very bottom and the legs of the soldiers, which you probably can't see in the picture. But other than that, literally this whole painting is just confetti, confetti, confetti. So what I also learned in that video about how to keep your lines really straight was that tapping on your tray and making sure that your drills are in line is very helpful. It just helps you to see those extra little tabs, especially with a kit like this, where the tabs are really small, but they're there, so your drills aren't going to fit together. So this little, just making sure that you have a good, a good amount. And I go and I pick out the bad ones so I can get a lot of diamond painting done, and then I'll add some more drills to the mix and go through those again, or I'll give it another shake and go through them again real quick. But just not having those tabbed drills in here helps so much, because then you're just able to go and pick up and go, pick up and go. And I like this, my little light is handy because, like I said, it's just enough light to push up so I can see if a drill has a tab on it or not. Unfortunately, it can't help me to see if they're different sizes. If they're just barely smaller than the next one, I can't really tell that. But so far it's working out. And another tip that she had given was, when you're placing them, if you grab your drill on the other side, so let's say I want to put a drill right here, there's no drills on the right hand side. I have the right hand side open and I'm going to place a drill. So I put my tweezers closer to the right so I can push that drill up against that next drill that it's next to. when you already have drills that are laid down that are pretty straight, it's going to help you to place your next drill on there, if that makes sense. Maybe one day I'll actually do a tips on, I'm not personally that great at it yet, so maybe if I get better at it, I'll do a little video on how to place your drills as straight as possible. Now, some people want to whiz through their diamond paintings and just get them done as quickly as possible. So this method does not really work for going quickly. I mean, you probably would get quicker in time, but it does take a little bit longer to place with tweezers and not use multi-placers. I haven't used my multi-placer in a few days either because I just found that I was seeing too many gaps. I don't know if that's the fault of using a multi-placer or if that's just the fault of me not being that proficient in using a multi-placer. I hadn't really progressed past the 4-placer, but I was starting to see lines where you could see where I put down a line of 4 and then there was like a little bitty gap, and then you could see where the next line of 4 went. And I don't like that. I would like for my lines to be as straight as possible. So, placing with tweezers gives you that precision of placing it perfectly in that square that they are providing you. Using a diamond painting pen, you don't necessarily have that same control. Well, I guess I don't have that same control. You may have that control, but I do not. When you go in and fill in from a checkerboard, you can use your diamond painting pen. I have done that. I'll do a checkerboard pattern and then go ahead and use my pen to kind of fill in those, because then you kind of get, you already have the foundation of a square or a straight drill, and then all you're doing is putting one in between 4. So you're likely going to get it into that spot pretty good. I don't really know what I did with my diamond painting pens, so I might look for that and fill these in with my pen. I know a lot of people purchase diamond painting pens, so if you're not going to be using, I really wish I'd quit flicking them out of the tweezers. But you want to use the items that you purchase to do your diamond paintings. Well, this is a way to get some precision and still use your diamond painting pens that you purchase. Do majority or the checkerboard and tweezer, and then filling in with your pen. Because I personally just recently purchased a diamond painting pen. It was my first actual purchase from a pen turner. I have a video of it too, but it was from BFF Pens. I can't think of the exact name. And I love it. It's really pretty and I really do enjoy using it. So, and it also has a stainless steel single placer on it. I did have a 4-placer, stainless steel 4-placer also, but I don't feel like I do very well with it on squares. I was using it on rounds, but then I started noticing the gaps, so I don't know. I do have a plastic four placer, the thin one. I haven't used that in a little bit on this painting. But I might find that and fill in my holes with that, because I'm on the last color for this section. So anyhow, what do you prefer using? Do you prefer using a pen? Have you ever tried using tweezers? What's your preference? Over pen, tweezers? I don't know, maybe you use something different. I don't know what else there would be out there to use, but I know there are, somebody sells, they're like a crayon, it's called a pretty placer, and I believe that's mainly for like doing ABs or special drills, but I could be wrong. I've never purchased one, so I do not know if you would actually use that for regular round or square drills. But I can also tell you I was getting very frustrated with wax, the tacky stuff, all of it. I was getting very frustrated. Felt like I was filling my pen way too often. And it's just really frustrating to have to stop what you're doing and get more wax, get more taffy. It's not called taffy, but I can't think of what it's really called. It's just frustrating. I wish I could find something that really, 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 really works. But I guess everything works differently for everybody else. Because I know people swear by the scented taffy stuff, and it just wasn't really working for me. Now, I put that in my fiance's pen because he was getting frustrated with wax. And I was getting frustrated because he was making me refill his pen. He wasn't refilling his pen. And so I would have to stop what I was doing, go put more wax in his pen. So I tried the taffy stuff on his, and he didn't ask me for any more after that. So I think for him it worked out okay. Maybe it's the different pen tip style. I'm not really sure. I really haven't figured it out. I just know I was getting very frustrated, and so I tried the tweezers, and I don't have to have any wax to use my tweezers. So I was enjoying that. If you have something that you know of that works, the only thing I haven't tried patty wax. I'm not positive what that is. If it's like the taffy, like the museum putty, I don't need any more of that stuff. I have plenty, and I don't need to purchase any more because I don't really care for it. But if you have something else out there that might be different than what I've already purchased, then please, please, please let me know. Because I think patty wax might be different than everything. I think it's a hard wax that you scrape into your pen. Could be wrong. I'm only going off of watching a video, and I think that's what she called it, was patty wax. If you've tried it, then let me know what you think of it, and maybe I'll order some and give it a shot. Guess it can't hurt to give things a try and see what's going to work best for me. It's just really funny because there's times where I think the pink wax works just fine, or I have blue wax and it works just fine. But then I can use that same thing that I thought was working just fine the day before or the next day, and it's just frustrating because it doesn't want to work that next day. And yes, I do keep them closed up. I keep the plastic cover on them, so it's not that I'm letting air get to them. So if you have any tips on that, please share. share with the class so we can all learn. All right, so I am going to see if I can't find my pen and fill in these. These are not my pens. Thankfully that did not break because that was the pen I want to use. So I'm not really sure what this pen is made out of, but I just dropped it on my tile floor and it didn't break. So I do have the taffy. I think it was a popcorn scented from Excuse Me Designs in here. I think in this pen cap it does work. I just have pink wax in my floor placer. I haven't been using it in a while, so I don't, it's probably old and needs to come out and it's probably dried up. Now, this pen was one that I got out of a cat ear and I dropped it and I broke it. You can't really see, I can feel it. But I just super glued it back together and it's fine. I can probably buff that up or sand it out or something and make it smooth again. But if you've dropped a pen and it broke, you can super glue it back together. You just want to try to not have too much excess. All right, let's get comfortable here. And so I haven't used this pen in a couple days, and my taffy my putty that's in here seems to still be pretty sticky and working okay. And then, like I said, this is from Excuse Me Designs. I got a 4-pack sampler. It was a popcorn flavor, then there was a Coke flavor, a blue Hawaiian flavor, I'm saying flavor, scents. These are scents. And then some kind of champagne scent. And they smell great. The popcorn and the soda one are really fun. It it makes you think of movie theater. And I really like the champagne smell one. That one's probably my favorite one. They don't really, I can't really smell them while I'm diamond painting, but when you open the container and give it a little sniff, you can definitely smell that scent. And it takes you back to maybe those movie theater days. I used to work at a movie theater. I just dropped a couple drills. My floor is full of drills. But yes, I used to be a manager at an AMC theater. And when I first started there, I thought I would never get sick of the smell of popcorn. Well, trust me, after working there for years, you get tired of the smell. You kind of get used to the smell too, because you have the people come in and watching movies always say, oh my gosh, it smells good like popcorn, and by an hour or two after you've been there, you don't smell it anymore. But I sure do love me some good movie theater buttered popcorn. It's been a while since I've watched a movie at the movie theater because of COVID. I do believe the movie theaters with dine-in theaters are opened, but most of the ones that didn't have dine-in, I don't even think they reopened after COVID around here. I used to work at one that had a dine-in theater. I was not working there during COVID, thank goodness, because I'm sure they were out of job for a little bit. But it's been quite a while since I've been to the movie theater. When you get used to going to the movies for free because you work there, you kind of don't want to pay for them again. It's pretty expensive to go to a movie theater these days to buy your tickets. You gotta have popcorn, and candy. I don't really drink soda, so I don't really need soda. But by the time it's all said and done, you're about $50, $60 in. When you could probably find a way to watch that movie on TV in your own living room. Sometimes you just need to get out and go do it though. Have a night out. But, all right. I need more of this color. So I don't know if you noticed, but I do have different size trays, and it is because my two holders that I'm using, they take different sizes. I can't fit the big ones in one of my trays for my storage holder. And I don't have enough of the big ones to fill up my bottom that they would all fit into. I just don't have quite enough. I'm thinking about making another purchase for another 10 big trays to get them a little bit more in there. And I do have mostly Mosfa boats, so they're a little bit sturdy. This one is not Mosfa, and I can tell whenever I grab one that's not. They're definitely a better quality plastic, resin, whatever these are made out of. Plastic, I don't know. But I do love my towers, especially while working on this canvas. I can't even imagine diamond painting this canvas going one at a time, one color at a time, or opening one container and putting them back away and then pouring out. I just couldn't even imagine with this painting. I did my daughters that way, but I didn't have this set up either. And occasionally I would get into some really, really, really confetti heavy sections of hers, and I would just lay 12 to 13 different boats out so I didn't have to switch them out every 5 seconds. But I'm really happy that I got this. What I am using is it's called a phone. I got it off of Amazon. It's a phone holder, and my mom got it for me. It's a 36 slot phone holder display. Like for someone who's trying to sell phones, I know teachers use them also to hold phones while in class from their students. They make them put them in there during class. And I thought, oh, that would be perfect to hold 36 trays. It's not perfect. It's great and it works. However, my large trays don't fit very well in the top section because it descends. When you stand it up, it gets smaller as you go up. So the big trays would stick out too far. Kind of trying to figure out something else to do and use. But for right now, that's what I'm using. And then I also purchased an 8-count little foam holder because this diamond painting had 44 colors, and I only had the 36 spots, so I had to double up. It was just, you can fit 2 green boats in one section of the 36 slot. I just didn't want to do that anymore, so I bought that, and now I have enough room for a boat for each slot. And then in one of the gifting groups that I'm in, I forgot that I had another tower on my wish list, and somebody ended up purchasing that for me, which I actually have that one. And it is a 16 count, and it's just slightly smaller than my 8 count, so you cannot fit the Mospa boats in here. It only fits the small white trays or the green boats. But if I had a need to use it, I would definitely pull it out and use it, but I have enough space right now. And they stack nicely on each other. I just have some Gorilla tape holding my 8 count tower onto my 36 count phone holder. I'll show that. I don't think you can see it through the lens at this moment, but I'll pan over to that once I finish this section and show you my little setup. And I can't believe I've actually rambled this whole time, so I guess it is going to be a whip and chat, because I am almost done with this section, and that was my goal for the day. And I started this about 30-40 minutes ago, so it'll be a little under an hour long video. And I don't know, maybe some of it'll get edited out in editing because it's, you know, not important. We'll see how long it actually ends up being. But I will give you a glance of my whole setup. You might have seen it in the beginning when I showed my light, but I'll just pan over it again. I am trying to think of some other ways that I would like to have my organization. I don't mind what I have right now, which is just some 3-drawer totes, not totes, 3-drawer storage rolling. Nope, they don't roll. I just pull it in and out. Anyhow, I'll show it to you. But it holds enough stuff. I probably keep it like that for a while, actually. We'll see. I'd rather spend money on diamond paintings than purchasing other items. That is the section that I just completed. I don't know. That is without the light on, without the light board. I'm having some shadow issues, sorry. But I think it looks pretty darn good, pretty straight. That is checkerboard style with tweezers and pen to fill in. This is my current setup. So this is my drills. I did put them in here to begin with. After I started working and had the tower in the back, I probably would not have used this. I should have just put them in baggies because it's such a large painting that I didn't get a whole lot of colors in here anyway, like the whole packages. So this is the phone case holder that I was talking about. This is the 8 count tower, my current drills, and these are my favorite drill trays. I love that they have the spout. They're large. My next favorite is actually this one because it has deep sides and you can really shake them without worrying. The only thing is it does not have a funnel. I mean, these are deep also. So it's very similar to this one. I think this one just fits better in my hand. So if I'm ever doing a painting where I'm actually sitting on the couch and going from one color to the next, I take those drills out of that tray and put a different tray in and use this tray. And then I have these blue trays with the little pin thing on them. I don't really care for that. I don't need that, but they are the same size as the white ones. They're just blue and they have the funnel that would probably be my next favorite tray. And then this would be my next favorite. I'd prefer the funnel over this. Although, this helps to not have your drills spilling out. I mean, they don't spill out. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. But they're all the same height and they are the same size as the one with the funnel. This is my least favorite big tray, only because there's no funnel. If there was a funnel, I'd be fine with it. And then this is the Mosfa tray. No, yes. This is one of the Mosfa trays. It's just a little more sturdy. I don't have two hands to show the difference. This is a Diamond Art Club tray. It's clear. These are the white boats. They're smaller and they're not as sturdy as the plastic. And it sits on my 3-drawer tower. These are, I've made a mess of these. I did have them in order. These are my drills that are now in baggies. I do not pour them from here into there. I just pour them straight from the bag to the, I mean, it seems redundant to take it from here to there to there to, and then I just have my extra. I don't know what to do with all those boats back there. I might see if a school wants them. I have so many white trays, so many green boats and pens, and just so much extra. Look at all this wax. I even threw away half of my wax because it was that see-through wax that just doesn't even, you can't even use it. At one point in time I had this cleared out, and then I got so many more paintings and it got messy again. So anyhow, that is the progress for today, and I will end this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this, please hit that like button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.